Great. So I welcome you all on this session today on the United States medical license exam. Now I will just quickly introduce myself and my team. So I am Chirag. I am the COO online coaching at Moksh Overseas EduCon. We have been helping students achieve their dream residency and fellowship for like many years now. I personally have mentored students who have successfully, given their USMLE exams, got their dream residency, and are currently part of the healthcare system in the US, fighting the biggest war of their lifetime. So I'm very happy and proud of my students who are successfully working in the American job market. All right, and I definitely look forward, many of you to also follow the same pathway. Now, before I talk about this session or answer any questions of yours, just a small disclaimer: the entire session and entire discussion is completely my own opinion and my personal journey of dealing with students of preparing for USMLE for last 10 to 15 years. This does not represent official standpoint of any of the agencies above, like the USMLE, ACGME, ECFMG, NRMP. Of course, what are those? We will be discussing much in detail. Now, who are we? We are team of residency experts and faculties who successfully have guided 1,000+ students in the USMLE journey. We train you for the exams on our online platform. We conduct live online sessions where faculties across the globe. Dr. Sharma operates from John Hopkins, ex-John Hopkins student. Dr. Piyush Soni operates from Texas. Dr. Mary Rubish from North America. Stephen Doherty from East of America. Dr. Dhruv Kumar from Canada. Dr. Carlo from the Caribbean islands. So we have pool of professionals who have been helping students year on year. For example, Dr. Jack Wilson. He is an anatomy professor for a American Medical School for 45 years, and he is with us to share his own experience dealing with students for so many years. So this is the team which is behind the entire support and the program which Moksh offers. All right. So at any point of time you require any help, any queries, feel free to ask and get clarified. There is a question panel where you can type in your question. There is a handout panel with you where you can download your Moksh USMLE brochure, the high yield review program information, which we are launching from this July. From July onwards, we are launching once in a lifetime opportunity program. We had a successful batch in February. We have the next batch in July, where all the American physicians, high level physicians teaching the same program in America for about $5,000 will be now teaching first time in India to all the Indian students online. Okay, so you can download the brochure, you can download all the information. Great. So now I have a question from Yash. Sir, please explain me about the exam pattern, when we can give the examination. That's a very good question, Yash. Let's talk about the exam pattern of USMLE. That's a good question, right? So typically what happens, Yash, USMLE has 4 steps. All right. Step 1, step 2 CK, step 2 CS, step 3. All right. NEET PG is one exam which you appear which comprises of all the 19 subjects together. But in USMLE, it is divided. The first 2-year MBBS portion is step 1, which students prepare in first and second year, appear in third year. The clinical final year portion is in CK. Students prepare in internship year and appear in end of internship year. Importantly, the step 1 exam are conducted in India throughout the year, Monday to Friday. So whenever you are prepared, you can appear the exam. Both step 1 and step 2 CK are online examination. Alright. Step 1 has 280 questions, 7 blocks of 1 hour each, and in every block you have 50 questions. CK 318 questions. Now, what do I mean by a block? Okay, a block is a 1 hour time in which you can attempt 40 questions in any order. You can attempt question number 1, go to 40, come back to 28, keep on flipping around. But once that 1 hour gets over, you get a next 41 to 80, next 40 questions. So every 1 hour, 40 questions keep on coming to you. Every MCQ of USMLE is a patient case. Okay, every MCQ of USMLE is a patient case. So it is highly very important that you understand that there is not a single question in step 1 which is only anatomy, only biochemistry, only physiology. It's a combination of multiple subjects. Why? Because if a patient walks into your clinic, he is expecting you to treat a particular organ system. Okay, that is how it works. So step 1, your knowledge of first 2 years, anat, biochem, patho, pharma, physio, medical genetics, immunomicrobiology, and there is an extra subject called as behavioral science, which is kind of PSM and psychiatry. So using that knowledge, you have to solve a patient case. Understand something, we have a lot of students who are parents are doctors. They prepare USMLE with us, not even with an intent to go to America. But they know the fact that if you study the USMLE style MCQ, you will be a good doctor. Your patient diagnosing skills will improve. In fact, in the month of February, when the announcement of the next exam has been made, we have a huge number of students across India in first and second year who have to compulsory give the next exam, government or private, have enrolled for step 1 exam, because now they have realized NEET PG was all about memorizing things, but the next exam will be like step 1, will be MCQ based, will have clinical questions, will have image based questions. So everybody is preparing for step 1 from the first year. Now we see 7 block ka exam hai, but 8 hours time. What is this 1 hour extra time? This 1 hour is actually a break time in all, which you can take after, let's say, maybe one block 5 minutes, 2 blocks 20 minutes, your choice. But total break time between any blocks you will get is 1 hour. Okay, so you need to plan these exams well. In the history of these exams, these are the longest exams. Step 1 online, step 2 CK online, 9 hours, step 2 CS practical exam conducted in America, and STRIAS is an online exam conducted in America. For initial admission purpose, you only require step 1 CK and CS examination. Okay. Now, Yash, just for your information, you need to understand the scoring system is a little different in USMLE. Everybody who attempts the exam gets a minimum marks of 140 and the maximum 280. That is the range, in which passing is 194, but a good score is 240. That is the target. Okay. Now this is something which is very important for all of you to understand. Scores get locked for 7 years. Although the good score is 240, if I, you know, just what Indians, my seniors do, okay, let me try one attempt of NEET PG, have a feel of it, then prepare again. That doesn't work in USMLE. In USMLE, you need to prepare well, and you can only appear once. All right, and which is why it is absolutely important that you prepare well, because you only have one attempt if you pass. So you need to ensure that the series of mock examinations which we conduct on our Moksha platform, you prepare well for them, appear well, and unless you hit a score of 240 continuously on multiple times on our platform, only then we allow you to appear the actual examination. Otherwise, it is not recommended you take a chance with this examination. All right, this is very important for all of you to understand. So please note, step 1 240, step 2 CK 240, that is your target. Okay, please keep that in mind. Now step 1 and CK are kind of a theory paper. CS is a practical exam. Okay, now what happens in CS examination, let us quickly understand. Okay, for that I will request all of you to let us all go on the website called as usmle.org. Okay, that's the website, usmle.org. This is the official website of USMLE. Here I would want to watch a lot of videos which are there. Okay, you can always, whenever you are free, click on this and watch the videos, because CS is a practical exam. You need to visually understand the process. Okay, guys, keep on typing your questions, and once I answer Yash's question, I'll be answering all other questions. Okay, so let's understand the step to CS examination. CS is a practical exam in which you will be interacting with 12 patients. There will be a clinic kind of a setup. For every patient, you will get total time of 25 minutes. Okay. Now, before you enter here, outside the clinic, there will be a doorway information. On the door, the chief complaint of the patient will be mentioned to you. Your job is, considering the complaint, you act as a physician and do 4 things. You do the physical examination of the patient, you take down the patient history. Based on examination and history, you generate a differential diagnosis. And once you do all of 3, you have to come outside this setup and type your patient note. So all of these 4 things one has to do for each and every patient. Now these patients are actually standardized theater actors. They are trained to mark you pass or a fail on certain parameters such as CIS, communication and interpersonal skills, SEP, spoken English proficiency, and ICE, integrated clinical encounter. So for every 25 minutes you spend with one patient, they will observe what were your communication skills, verbal and non-verbal form, whether you wash your hands, wear gloves, how do you use your biomedical instrumentation. This is important. English proficiency, whether you are able to understand the patient understands your English. Integrated clinical encounter, when you ask questions during history taking, do you use a normal language or you confuse patients with the medical jargon which a normal patient doesn't understand? Do you counsel the patient well? Do you give him the exact differential diagnosis, or you try to you know, be very firm about one particular diagnosis. So these are factors which are very important. Again, Moksh is partnered with an American hospital where we give you this training, a mock step 2 CS training for you. All right. So yes, we definitely would be supporting you for coaching of each and every steps. Step 1 CKCS. Coming to the step 3, this is an exam required to get a license to work in America. Okay, this is dealing with patient management, and this can be only given after you are a graduate. In order to appear step 3, you require something called as ECFMG certification. What is ECFMG? It is Education Commission for Foreign Medical Graduates. This is the body which says that okay, your degree in India is equal to the American degree, and now you apply for PG. How do you get this certificate? By submitting your degree plus passing marks of step 1, CK and CS examinations. All right. So step 3 exam typically is a 2-day exam. Day 1 MCQ, day 2 first half MCQ, and second half there are clinical cases. So on a computer they give about 13 to 14 cases, and your job as a physician is to give an entire treatment management plan. Whatever issues you are identifying, you keep on giving the right drugs, right testing, and right treatment protocol in such a way that end of the simulation either the patient dies or patient survives. So how many patients you are able to survive, that determines your marks. Again, in step 3, 230 plus marks is a minimum requirement. I hope this answers all your question, Yash. Let's talk about the next question. Absolutely, Vandita. The next question Vandita has, what about the FLAB examination? That's a very good question, Vandita. So typically, let us understand the question asked by Vandita. What about another global examination called as FLAB? Okay. So let me tell you, Vandita, what is the total global scenario in the minds of an Indian student. It is highly important you understand this because this will determine the entire plan of action. Okay. Please, guys, it is highly important that you guys understand this very, very clearly. Okay. Otherwise, a lot of confusions do arise. So please understand this, Nandita, very properly. We are not a student of management or engineering or IT. Oh, I did a degree from X country, I will settle in Y country. I cannot do that because if I am a medicine doctor, there are lot of restriction. I need to be registered by the medical council of one particular country. Okay. Now, in order to actually make a career or to do PG, these are two different things. As an Indian student, everybody is aspirant. Okay, I want to go to US, I want to go to UK, I want to go to Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, Gulf country. Everybody thinks of, you just open a globe and they will just point out. Yesterday we had somebody, she said Netherlands. It's very exciting to find out new country names, but you will not realize the fact that if you want to make a serious career, these kind of glamorous options are not practical. Practically, there are two kind of categories of countries which are divided. In one set of countries where you can do PG, and in second set where you can settle. Please understand this very clearly. Now, for an Indian student, if he has to settle, what are the countries where he can settle? First option is definitely India. I am not ruling out India. Second is US. Third is Germany. All right. Why am I saying that? Let's talk about first the exam. Indian students have to give the next exam. US students have to give the USMLE exam, and German students have to give the German license exam called as FSP or KSP. All right. Similarly, if somebody wants to do something in the UK, they will have to give an exam called as PLAB. Okay. Somebody wants to settle in Canada, they have to give an exam called as MECI. Somebody wants to settle in Australia, exam is called as AMC. Somebody wants to settle in New Zealand, exam is New Zealand Registration Examination. Somebody wants to settle in Gulf countries, the exam is different. Emirat has different exam. For example, Saudi has MOH, Dubai has DHA, and Abu Dhabi has Health Authority of Abu Dhabi. Okay. All right. Now let's understand this properly. When it comes to difficulty level of exam, definitely USMLE is a difficult exam. PLAB is medium. In fact, some coaching providers in India, especially in South India, claim this is an easy exam. I can give that point to them, no problem. Indian exam next is definitely a difficult exam. Canada, medium, medium. Germany, easy. Gulf country exams are easy. Now, what is happening? It is not only about examination being easy that you should decide, oh, let me prepare PLAB because PLAB is easy. But do you have an actual career in that country is a big question mark. Next time you get a call from somebody asking you to train for PLAB examination, tell them I will join you guys. First, you give me list of 10 students in the last 5 years. I am not asking big number like in America. In the last 5 years, you will have at least hundreds and hundreds, in fact, 1,000 students who have settled there. I am just asking 10 students. You ask them names and medical college in India name. That's it. Who have successfully completed MBBS from India and are working there. Be very careful. Tell them we don't want profiles of doctors who are UK citizens but from Indian origin, UK citizen but from Pakistan origins. Those profiles are not required. They will show you so and so doctor, but these are not Indians. These are already UK citizens born and brought up in UK. Just they have Indian origin. If you ask this data, they will keep down the phone because they know you know the reality. They will not be able to cheat you further on the system. Okay, let's talk further. Is there any quota system in US? No. It is a completely transparent process. UK, absolutely yes. In fact, Britishers taught India, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, all the British colonies, the quota system. Germany, no quota system. Gulf countries, no quotas. How many PG seats are available? US 34,000, UK 15,000, India 30,000, Canada 2,000, Australia 5,000, Germany 500, New Zealand 500, Germany 5,000, and Gulf countries 500. When you talk about visa, I am talking about the visa when you get the residency, which is a work visa. So any issues? No. Because there is a huge skill shortage in America, there are no issues in terms of visa. Any issues in UK? Absolutely big issues. I will share a very prominent article very shortly. India, no problem. Canada, no issues. Australia, no issues, no issues, no issues, absolutely no issues. Okay. Now, as I told you, there are few countries where you can do PG, which is US, India, Germany, and there are few countries where you can settle. Now, these are two different things. Let's understand what is the difference. Okay. So, if I do a PG from America, definitely I can settle in America or I can come back and work in India. The degree is very much recognized in the Indian job market also. I don't have to appear for any other examination. I can settle in America or settle in India. no problem. In fact, if I have an American degree, I can settle in any of these countries: Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, any of these countries. If I have a PG degree from UK, I can't even settle in UK. There are so many issues: visa, immigration, jobs, big issues. India, when I say settle, what I mean is typically if you are very, very brilliant, you will get into a government college, no problem. But if you are not that great, if you are out of that quota league, then in which case you'll have to either pay crores of rupees to private medical college, and to recover that and finally have a career, minimum age is around 32 years. If you have an Indian or a US degree, mind you, I am not discounting the Indian degree. You can definitely settle in Canada after appearing the MECI exam and applying for a specialist pathway. If you have a PG from US or India, you can settle in Australia under a specialist pathway. Indian or PG, you can settle in New Zealand under specialist pathway. You can definitely work in Gulf countries, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Saudi. If you have an Indian and PG degree, both are equally valued. Germany is a different country altogether. Okay, who considers Germany? Germany option is considered by Indian student who tries NEET for 3 times, fails. US students who tries USMLE 3 times, fails. This is a plan C for all the students. Why? Because exams are easy. However, the entire teaching happens in German language, and hence it's a one-way route. You cannot come back and work in India. Your PG degree is not valid in India. It's only valid in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So Germany is a country which is a good option, but it's a one-way route. You cannot come back and work in India, and hence it's a plan C for all the students. All right. Now let's see what are the disadvantages of each and every system. Let's see that one by one. US is a long process, requires lot of patience, lot of hard work. Unfortunately, in current scenario, everybody wants work easy, want easy money, which is why every training provider in South India fools people that PLAB is easy, go for PLAB, forget US, forget India. In reality, get in touch with BAPIO, British Association of Physicians of Indian Origin. They will tell you what is the problem. We are in 2020, but if you are an Indian origin physicians working in UK since last 20 years, you have to pay Ugda Laga, double tax. The surcharge which you pay is £400 compared to UK citizens who pay £200. In fact, in the current corona pandemic, the finance minister has increased this surcharge to £640 just because you are from India. There are huge visas. Students who get visa for tourist visa to give the PLAB 2 exam do not get a work visa for house surgeonship. Students who get visa for house surgeonship later on do not get a work visa. Big problems. Extreme racism. Okay, back office jobs. Now, what I say, I would always say, maybe you should not believe me, but you should believe the official data. Okay, so let me take you very simple. Type your BMJ journal, racism. You will realize what is happening. I will send you the link. A doctor from Andhra Pradesh who is living in UK for since 1974. He is written an article in British Medical Journal. What kind of treatment are physicians offered? What exactly are the words referred? What kind of respects given? He is in fact so much anguished that he is asking a sorry from the MCI of UK, that is NHS. That is the article he wrote after having a career in UK since 1974. 40-year-old career, and he wrote his own entire heart out. So you should watch this article to know the reality. I will share with you one more article. Okay? This is highly important. Okay, when I say BAPIO, what article have BAPIO mentioned? BAPIO very regularly in different newspapers talk about the problems faced by the students. So yes, as you can see here, this is the article which is published in one of the biggest newspaper in UK called as the Guardian newspaper. Okay, I will send you links. There are at least 20 links which I will send you, which tells you what exactly are the concerns, how and why you should never believe a company or any companies from South India who tell you PLAB is easy. The reality is there is a huge shortage in NHS. I don't deny that. Everybody is going to show you NHS data. NHS में shortage है. I agree. Nobody denies this shortage. But they will not tell you what the Indian physicians are telling the reality. Very few Indian doctors at high position, despite having 23% of UK's NHS. Most of the jobs are back office jobs. Why did you work so hard in the system to work as a back office physician? Non-white doctors assessed unfairly while looking for promotions to become specialists. Glamorous specializations such as cardiology, ophthalmology, surgery, pediatrics all go to European doctors. Non-white doctors in consultancy positions often overlooked. Awful working conditions under NHS. Dr. Kailash Chand, he is a deputy chair of the British Association. What does he say? There are huge problems. Working conditions in UK for doctors have deteriorated a hell of a lot. It is not as good as people think. This is very, very important information I am giving you because unfortunately, thousands and thousands of Indian students are cheated. They are shown the way that USMLE is difficult, next is difficult. Oh, prepare for PLAB. And with this cheating, they are ruining careers of thousands of students. I definitely would not appreciate doing that. And which is why we are very clear. We will only recommend a country which is worth going abroad. All right. Great. So now we will take the next question. As I told you, this is a session of questions. I tried answering the questions which my friend Vandita had. Now we have a next question from Sharik. I think I answered your question. I think somebody has also, brainwashed you into UK. This is the reality. I hope now you have a real picture about UK. Okay, Yash has a question. Do we have to compulsory do clerkships in US hospital during internship? Absolutely yes. Do universities ask for SAT and TOEFL? Yash, first of all, SAT exam is for undergrad medical education in America. Undergrad education, not medical education. So SAT is not required at all. Forget about SAT, but yes, your question whether clerkships are required or not, for that I will want you to download the handout. Okay, but before I make you download the handout, I want to ask one critical question. Since all of you have joined this session of USMLE, so obviously I need to ask this obvious question, right? What according to you is a tuition fee to do PG in America? Okay, mind you, I'm asking a per year fees. Quickly, I would request you guys to participate in the poll. What is a per year fees to do post graduation in America? Is it 1 crore? Is it 35 lakhs? Is it 50 lakhs? Or is it zero? Because that will answer Yash's question. Yash is asking, is clerkship important? Okay, Yash is still in third year, and I can understand his apprehensions for these examinations. Okay, and rotations, are all of these things important or not? Mhm. Great. So as you can see, we have about 150 students right now. 40% of you feel that there is no tuition fee. However, 60% feel साल का 35 लाख तो फीस होगा, मतलब 3 साल का 1 करोड़ तो फीस होगा. This is completely incorrect. Moment you hear America, everybody sees fees, but the real and the correct answer is what 40% of you feel. In US, there is no tuition fee. Okay, so now if there is no tuition fee, I would ask you to download a handout which is there with you, called as the Moksha USMLE brochure. Okay, let's open this and check out very important factor. First factor which I want all of you to be understanding is the fact that in US you don't pay tuition fee to do PG. In short, I am doing a job in America. In fact, when I join a PG, I get a basic salary of minimum 3 to 4 lakhs per month. All right. So just like any other job, if you were to apply for a job in India, obviously you will submit your college performance, you will have to submit your CV, and you will have to appear for an interview. So unlike the Indian system where everything is determined by NEET exam or the next exam in future, since USMLE is a job, all the 4 factors matter, and your admission is a sum total of your overall experience. Do you guys know what kind of salaries you get? I just mentioned 2 to 3 lakhs. So annually it's almost like 35 to 40 lakh rupees. Okay. Which specializations are you interested, Josh? Or anybody else? Specialization are you interested in? I can let you know. Sharik, I will answer your question shortly. Let me cover this important part of your orientation. All of you, since all of you are thinking about US, your orientation should be clear that you are looking for a job. Great. So Yash is surgery. Surgery programs in America are 5-year programs. All right. So let us see, how do you find out whether there is a tuition fee or not? You search PGY1 surgery. In US for PG they call it residency. So surgery residency salary. Okay. PGY1 residency salary. So we will see for one of the medical college, and that will give you a clarity that I am applying for a job. When we see for India, we usually search for fees. As you can see, it's a per year salary, 4,700. Sorry, per month, $4,700. Annually, $57,000. And since it is a job, can you see this? How much do you get? There is an educational stipend. There is a support in terms of further license and step 3, which you have to give later on, vacations, all the things you have benefits, because it is just like any other job. In America, insurance is very costly. So insurance is provided by the hospital. Malpractice, life insurance, health insurance, everything is provided. On-call meals. Can you see this? This is something parking. My point, the reason I want to share all of these things with you is to give you a clear-cut idea that you are applying for a job. So don't be penny wise, pound foolish. Oh, you know what? I will not do rotations. Without doing rotations, you cannot show your clinical skills. Rotations are important for letter of recommendations, and rotations can be done during internship only, and it's one of the part of your CV. Okay, I hope this answers your question, Yash, that whether clerkship is important or not. Absolutely, it is important. Okay, Piyush Bharti, what's your question? Please feel free to ask any question you have, and I'll be able to answer any of your questions. All right, thanks, Yash. Now let's talk about the question which Sharik has. My main concern is I am a Chinese medical degree. Okay, is it equivalent in US or Germany? And what are my prospects after a gap of 3 years? Sharik, which medical college are you from? Can you let me know that? I can immediately let you know whether you are eligible to work in America or not. And that will answer the question of, I believe there was a question by Mehul as well. Okay, the Mehul and Sharik, both the questions will be answered. How do you check whether you can appear the USMLE exams or not? So very simple. You go to this World Directory of Medical Schools. Okay, if I need to check whether my medical college is approved by the USMLE board or not, I go to this website and I type in my medical college name. So I have been given the name An Hui by Sharik. So let's see his medical college is approved or not. Sharik, I have 3 medical colleges with the same name. Okay, China is very confusing. So you'll have to help me with which exactly is your college. Okay, we have 3 colleges with the same name. The first one. All right, so let's see for An Hui. Government College, 1949, approved? Absolutely yes. It is very much approved by both Canadian and the American board. Sharik, you don't have to worry about applying to US. Okay. So Sharik, one thing is only there in Germany, that Germany is a one-way route. Okay. In US, you can always come back and work in your home country. So which is why my suggestion will be your first choice should be to apply for USMLE. You know, and amongst the USMLE exam, the most difficult exam is the step 1. So what you could do is maybe start with this high yield program, see how it works and how you are able to cope up. Okay, in fact, before high yield, just so that whether you are comfortable with USMLE or not, just go on this website called as mook16.com. Okay, under which you can go into USMLE coaching, and you will get access to the free mock USMLE exam. Once you type this free trial, you can actually appear a free mock USMLE exam. Just give this exam to understand whether you are ready for a challenge of USMLE or not. Okay, this is very important. Whether you can be competent enough to appear this exam, because since it's been 3 years that you have done your med school, so I want you to definitely have a look at the exam also, because yes, this is an exam which requires knowledge. This is an exam which requires hard work. So whether you are ready to take up the knowledge or not, I will request you to type in and find out, give a mock test and see how ready you are. Okay. If you feel maybe USMLE is a great option and you want to give one chance to your life, go ahead and do the high yield program and we'll help you with the USMLE journey. If you will know USMLE is not my cup of tea, definitely we can then help you for your plan B of Germany. No problem. All right. I hope this answers your question, Sharik. Zhejiang. Zhejiang is a query from another student. I will have to check Zhejiang. Is it part of the list? Yes. Again, I told you China is a very funny country. Ishita, you'll have to help. Which medical college are you talking about? There are again 3 colleges here in Zhejiang. Which one is your? All of them are in Hangzhou province. Okay. This one? Oh, this is not operational actually currently. The fourth one. Okay. 1912 government. Yeah, absolutely no problem, Ishita. They got approval very late. Usually students get 1953. This one has got in 1998. But no problem. You can definitely write the USMLE exams. No problem at all. Okay. Now I have a next question from Soham. OBGY is how many years? What is the best step one score for this? No problem. We will share that as well. First of all, you need to find out whichever options, for example, whichever specialty, how do I find out the length? Because length is between 3 to 5 years. But if I want a master list, where do I get? Again, come to the USMLE coaching page. I am telling you how to search. Everything is available here. Exams, clinical rotation, residency match. So click on residency match. Okay. Click on length of residency programs. Okay, this is the link. So I will just send it to all of you so that you have a copy of it. All right. So the first question, what is the length? You will find the answer here. Okay. So as you can see, anesthesiology 3 years plus 1 year preliminary 4 years, neuro 4 years, ophthalm 4 years, patho 4 years, dermat 4 years, general surgery 5, Euro 5, psychiatry 4, OBGY is 5 years. Sorry, 4 years. All right. I hope this answers your question. Now, the next part of your question, what are the marks required for OBGY? OBGY is a very, very competitive specialization because OBGY requires minimum marks of 230 to 240. Okay, and there are only 1,000 seats. So especially for international students, you should have minimum 240 plus marks. It is highly competitive. In fact, you want to know much in detail about OBGY, you are also invited for a session on this Sunday. On Sunday, we are bringing an Indian physician who is a OBGY specialist in America for a guest lecture. So Sunday 8 p.m., all of you who would want to join can get the link from my team and you will be able to interact with an OBGY specialist, Indian who is working in US. All right. On an average, please understand, if you want surgical specializations, you require 240 plus marks. If you want medicine specialization, 220 to 230 should be the range. All right. So next question, which Yash has, how do I prepare? So Yash, every MOOC students, while they do the HILE review, along with this, every MOOC students has his own online learning system, okay, on which he or she practices lot of content, lot of live lectures. Our faculties take regular live lectures, so they attend lot of lectures. So at any point of time, you log in and you will be able to attend faculty live lectures continuously. Lectures keep on happening and you will be able to attend them throughout. Okay. So on this software, you can appear live lectures. Okay. On top of it, you require to watch certain recorded content. You are free to log in and watch high quality recorded content, which actually clears your concepts very, very much. So you can watch a entire video library giving a very simple, lucid explanation. You can download your notes. You can report mistakes. You can ask doubts. So this is a learning tool which every MOOC student has. Plus, USMLE requires your interest towards research. So what kind of research article and journals are you referring to? Plays a very important role. So we give you access to interesting journal articles to read about lot of things which are practically important. So a lot of articles are available on our website relating to studies which you do. We have memory tools, we have a complete support in terms of test solution. All our students practice on this question bank where questions keep on increasing, 500, 700. Currently there are 1900 questions USMLE style, just like actual USMLE exam. We have a very interesting artificial intelligence based software in which we have a feature called as weakness rectifier. The computer will not leave you unless he solves your weakness of a particular subtopic. Continuously new questions are asked which gives and improves your strength. Every student who joins our program, initially we are assuming you are weak in every subject, and as you further move in our program, you jump based on your performance to average, average to strength. That is how a detailed report is been created. Most importantly, in USMLE you require to know when can I be ready for exam, because exams happen every day throughout the year. So our predictive score technology actually tells you when you are exam ready. We let you know your strength, your weaknesses by the discipline, by the organ system. Mind you, USMLE is all about organ systems, right? Also, Yash, as you know, we have something called as a career library where you can discover your own career opportunity. Let's say you want to become a surgeon, as you said. So what exactly is the roadmap for surgery? What are the marks required, length of training, super specialization? Every information for each and every specialization is available with you. On the software you have a complete update of all the news which are relevant to you about the exams or your career. All the study material is available, and you have access to high quality faculties. At any point of time, any doubts, you can reach out to any of our faculties which are placed from different part of the globe. So at any point of time, any questions are there, feel free to ask, and they'll be happy to answer you. All right. So this is the team, a big team of experienced faculties who are there to support you in the journey, right? Our program has a very important component which is called as unlimited validity. We do not force students to apply and decide on an urgent basis. We make them prepare until you are ready. I hope this answered the question why we are so popular. All right, great, thank you. Vandita, good question. Okay, so what I will do is, Vandita, just WhatsApp me on this number and I will send you just 10 links. I hope you read that link, and after that, if you still feel you want to give the PLAB exams, go ahead and appear. I wish you all the very best. Okay? Just watch all the 10 links which I have shared with you and then take a conscious call. Ultimately, everybody is responsible for their own destiny. Every year after NEET PG, we get thousands of calls. Sir, when you came to my medical college in second year, you advised us to consider USMLE. Now I realized it after experiencing the challenges, the quota system, and the issues. I met somebody in St. John's Medical College few years ago. He was in UK for 6 years. He met me back in 2010. He shared his journey. He's like, sir, if I would have listened to you today, my career would be have something different, you know. So my point, what I'm trying to tell you, I am here only to guide you. What are your directions? Ultimately, it's choice upon you. Absolutely, you have to take an informed decision and then stick to it, you know, because ultimately it's all about conviction. I'm not saying USMLE is easy. USMLE definitely, you know, you require a lot of hard work. You need to have a lot of patience. You require a never give up attitude. I mean, I know of students who were never college toppers, but they really succeeded in the USMLE. And I know of students who are like, you know, extremely, uh, you know, famous in their med schools, you know, always topping in every subject, but did not do well in USMLE, because USMLE is not about your how much you can memorize things, but it is about your conceptual knowledge. If your concepts are great, if you want to become a good physician, then you will be able to clear the USMLE. If all you did was in your MBBS is memorizing things, is going to be difficult, right? So yes, anybody wants any further information can WhatsApp us on this number or email us on this number as well. All right, great. So now let's take the next questions which we have. All right, how many seats are there in surgery? Okay, let me show you that as well. Great. So again, let me quickly let you know what are the number of seats available in each specializations in America. So that gives you a complete clarity of the total seats and what are your chances. All right. Let's quickly check that data as well. No problem. So as you can see, this is the results of 2020. So this year's March results. Okay. In America, there is no quota system. Every year, people apply and people get selected. Whether you have a green card or not doesn't matter. Okay, because even if you don't have a green card, still you will get a seat if you have worked hard and proved your profile. So total number of seats available is this column. Green card holders is this column, and those who want visa is this column. So anesthesiology, there are 1370 seats, 58 green card holders got admission, 78 non-US IMGs. Dermat is impossible. Certain specializations, I will say, do not try, because in India also dermat closes at 2500 rank. So last year, 0 green card holders got admission, only 2 non-US IMGs. However, even these 2 people will be a dermatologist in their own home country. Family medicine, which is like a general physician kind of a profile, 4,000 seats. Last year, 787 green card holders got admission, 405 non-US green card holders got admission. All right. Internal medicine, 8,697 seats, 1,100 green card holders got admission, 2,116 non-green card holders got admission. The ones who want the visa. Majority of our people want the work visa. Okay. I'm coming to surgery. Don't worry, Yash. Let me show you for each and every specialization. Okay. All right. Let's see for neurology, which is again very popular. 682 seats, 56 green card holder got admission, 182 non-green card holder got admission. All right. OBGY, I told you it's competitive. 1400 seats, 58 green card holder got admission and 36 non-green card holder got admission. Pathology, 600 seats, 54 green card holders got admission, 232 non-US IMGs got admission. Pediatrics, 2864 seats, 222 green card holder got admission, 340 normal students got admission. Guys, this is very, very important. Okay, please understand this in terms of your chances and probability. Okay, because you need to do a proper planning and research before you take any call. Okay. Psychiatry, 1858 seats, 164 green card holders, 129 students got admission who wanted visa. Surgery, 2600 seats, around 180 green card holders got admission, 240 normal students got admission. So yes, surgery is also possible. Okay. However, if you ask me the top 5 specializations where international students easily get admission in America, then it will be medicine, pediatrics, psychiatry, neurology, pathology, and then general surgery. Right? That's the order. So all of you can refer this file as well to give you a complete clarity. I hope this answers the question. Now let's have the next question. All right, Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna says, how important is research? Okay, you are in your final year and you want to know the roadmap. So final year students with Moksha, they do this platinum program, which is a fast track 1 year step 1, 1 year step 2 CK. Or within platinum, there is a small 7-week program called as high yield review. Maybe you can do a high yield review and then later on upgrade your choice. Okay, but typically your journey, if you ask me, is very crisp and clear. You need to have lot of patience. Okay, and you need to understand that how the things will proceed. You will take 1 year to prepare for step 1, because typically Indian students study for step 1 in first, second, third year, appear in third year. You will take another 1 year for CK, CS and clinical rotation. So total 2 years from now in terms of preparation. And you need to work on your CV. Okay, you haven't done research, that's a different story. But whether you require research, it's your own conscious decision. Research is not compulsory. It's not like a quantity. I should have X, Y, Z, and 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. No, it's your overall profile. It also depends on specialization. So if you are applying for patho, neuro, surgery, OBGY, or psychiatry, research becomes important. But rest of the specialization, it is not kind of compulsory. In fact, it's not compulsory for any specialization. Okay. So these things you will have to do for next 2 years. After which, Shri Krishna, you have to apply for the match happening in March, for which September is when you make applications. November to January you go for interviews. February is when you apply for rank order. March is the result, and July onwards PG starts. So as you can see, 1 year of step 1, 1 year for CKCS rotation, and 1 year of application. So if you want to consider the American option, you will take minimum 3 years. But this 3 years is a great investment. Please understand this. This 3 years is a great investment. And I am talking from the investment perspective in terms of time, because time is a big commodity for physicians, more than money. If you are investing this, it's a definite career which you will have. But yes, you will require patience. A lot of times students want easy route. Easy route is to buy a PG seat in India, but then that's going to be very expensive, and I don't know how will be your return on investment. But yes, if you are considering the American option, definitely there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but you'll have to work hard towards it. I hope this answers the question. One more thing, Shri Krishna, I will also advise you, because you ask about research. Our faculty, Dr. Stephen Doherty, he is actually one of the great orators and a great speaker. So I had requested him to give his perspective about importance of research in the American healthcare system. So I will advise you to go to this website called as the Moksha Coaching YouTube. Okay, on the YouTube channel there is a Moksha Coaching channel, in which you will have lots of informative sessions. Feel free to watch these sessions, because they are going to give you a complete clarity and perspective of your entire preparation. Okay, so let me quickly show you, this session. Dr. Stephen Dahoty has specifically talked about how important is research. So rather than having phobia or be worried, please listen and watch this video and then take a conscious call of whether to consider the research or not. Okay, I'm sharing the link with you guys so you can check and then take a correct decision. All right, great. So any further questions, you can either WhatsApp us on this number, email us on this number, and we can definitely help you with your queries. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, to be part of this session. I wish you all the very best. Stay safe, stay at home, and we are there to kind of assist you in this entire journey of USMLE preparation. And I invite you to attend the session on OBGY ectopic pregnancy by a OBGY specialist of Indian origin in America conducting this session on Sunday. So I will see you guys on Sunday for this special guest lecture and hope to connect soon on one of our MOOCs live lectures. All right. Thank you very much. All the very best. I shall end this session. Thank you.